From this moment on, you will now be known as Sharkbait.
Sharkbait, ooh-ha-ha!
Welcome, brother Sharkbait.
Sharkbait, ooh-ha-ha!
Enough with the Sharkbait.
Sharkbait, ooh!
What's up, everybody? This is D, man. I'm bringing you along for that much needed update on the reef tank. So I got you joining me while I'm in the middle of a much needed cleaning. As you know, anybody and everybody with a reef tank, it comes down to the cleaning. And I use my good old friend here, Mr. Razorblade. Yes, Mr. Razorblade and I are close friends. I have on my fingers, but there's nothing better at getting that hard to get off coralline algae or that very fine thin film of algae off the glass than a razor blade. As you see, my tang are very used to me cleaning the algae, and we've kind of worked out a system. What I do is I make short strokes, and then if you watch real close, my buddy will swim up right behind my hand when a nice piece comes off, and he'll grab the algae and he'll give me a moment to watch him. There he goes. He'll give me a moment to get another piece off, and we kind of take our time, and that's the way I clean my algae. So now that we've got the algae off, I do the next part, and this is the best tool you'll ever get for your fish tank. Good old-fashioned turkey baster. You go to your 5 and dime, Rite Aid, whatever store you got. Nothing beats the turkey baster at getting that hard to reach film algae or little sediment that gets on your zooapids, all in your leather corals, your cabbage leathers. Nothing is better than getting in there with the turkey baster. If you look real close, you'll see I just throw it into the water column. It's a lot of sediment. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. If you look real close, look how much the rock gets clean just from spraying it with air from the turkey baster. It's very important to keep your pumps running, because I rely on my overflow over here to capture all of that floating sediment. You got to get into the little corners, get behind the cracks and crevices, and get that stuff up into the water column where it can be captured by your filtration. And believe it or not, I do this every week, and you can see if you get a turkey baster, check your tank. I don't care if it's crystal clear. I challenge you guys. I want you to do a video. Go up in your tank with the turkey baster. You will be amazed how much sediment and gook you get out of your rock and crevices just spraying it with the turkey baster. And a lot of people that email me, they ask me, yo D, how do you prevent like cyanoalgae and all these pest algae? You will get algae, so stop right there. Algae is not always a bad thing. Algae absorbs nutrients, then you remove the algae, you get it out of your tank. That just comes with the territory. But one of the things that I'll tell you is algae is bacteria and life. Algae is life, and it grows by living in these little crevices and areas, which is why I go in there with the turkey baster. I give it a good blowing. Even around my zoos, they'll close up but they'll open again. The zinnias, everything, it just comes with the territory. So my turkey baster is my best friend. Especially if you got rock that's high up in the water column, you want to give it a good spraying with the turkey baster. You will be amazed, and best $2 I ever spent. So I give it a good brushing. And one thing you want to do is go to my buddy here, my turkey brush. Once I've cleaned out all the rock with the turkey baster, I'll go back and give it a good brushing. Yes, a good brushing. These bristles are very soft. I give my rock a good brushing with my turkey brush. And if you're asking me, where do you get this stuff from? Basically, I go to my 99-cent store. It comes in a package. You get the turkey baster, you get the brush, and you get those little pins to hold the turkey legs closed. They come like $2 or $1. I use the pins for clearing out my frag glue, so every part of this kit gets used. You want to go in your pumps, you want to give them a good brushing, leave them on, you'll be amazed. You'll get little crevices and snails and hard coralline algae that will actually grow in the pump, and it will slow down your pump. People have noticed their pumps make noise. It's usually because you've got algae and you've got sediment in the pump wearing on those magnets. So You want to give your rock a good brushing. Get down in there where it's hard to get to with your razor blade. You might stir up a little sand, it's no big deal. Guess what? In the ocean, coral get sand on them. You know, it comes with the territory. So yeah, you give it a good brushing. Go into your little areas. You know I'm not brushing your butt cheeks, clown. Get out of here. Stop being a camera hog. Yeah, my fish are so used to me doing this that they aren't even bothered by it. You know, they swim around, they know the routine. It's part of our little playtime. You know, I get into these little corners. Another thing that I'll mention is I do get aptasia like anybody else in the reef or saltwater tank hobby. And I want to get into all of those crevices because the food stuffs and all that junk is food that feeds the aptasia. The aptasia are filter feeders. They are very advantageous and they're hard to get rid of. So I get into all of these little cracks and crevices. I get up in the plate coral. I get up all in these areas and brush that stuff off. I try to eliminate any little foodstuffs that they will use as food. Yeah, this fish wants me to brush his butt. Maybe he needs toilet paper or something. I brush off my buddy's magnet, my little clownfish. He loves looking in this magnet, looking at me. He's like, what the hell are you doing? That's my magnet. He loves looking into this magnet. I never seen anything like it. The little magnifying glass cleaner. I like to clean it off because anything that sits still for a while will grow algae. So I get in there, I turn it. You know, anything that's exposed to the light, I'm going to give it a good brushing all in the crevices and stuff. Keep it clean so when he's looking at me, he's looking at a clear picture. And this piece that I'll tell you, I actually moved one of my little coral pieces. If you look at my earlier reef videos, down by the frog spawn, I had to move it. Little dead spots attract aptasia, and it's crazy. So I used a brush and I get into all these little corners. Let me see if I can move the camera down a little bit. Over here in the back, but let me show you the rock. Down here, let me put the brush down here so I can give you a little exercise in futility. I got my net here so I don't worry about stuff falling behind the tank. My little mesh net. Let me move the camera. Down in this little area where the magnet is, I started getting aptasia, so I took that out and I gave it a vinegar dip because I noticed dead spots or spots where there's not a lot of flow. Right here where the frog spawn is, I was getting aptasia. Let me move his magnet because he's looking at me funny. Little spots I was getting aptasia around the frog spawn, so I took that rock out and I gave it a dip in white vinegar. I found nothing kills those aptasia like white vinegar. If you can take the rock out and give it a good cleaning, definitely do it. I suggest it. It was driving me nuts, so I pulled it out and I moved it over to the other side of the tank. So it's down over here in a more flow area. So everything's looking good here. Here's the vinegar. I dipped it in there. Look at all the gook that came off of that rock. That's all white vinegar. Look how brown it is. Let me show you the rock. This was the piece that was over there. Look at the difference in the rock. It looks like brand new. It looks like it came out of the ocean. So I'll just leave this area where it used to be open, let it get some flow in there, see if I get any more aptasia. And if I do, I'll treat them with like a concentrated cork washer or something. But this is all part of cleaning the tank. So, you know, people, everybody that has a reef tank knows how much work it is. Now you get the finished product. What I'll do is I'll leave this running. Oh, tip, definitely. Do not change your filter socks, filter floss, or pads before you clean the tank because you want to let all of that floating debris go into the pad so that you can remove it from the tank. So I'll let everything run. Everybody's happy. You'll see there's no cyano. Everything's clear. In about a half an hour, the tank will be nice and clear. Then I'll take my filter pads out. I don't use socks. I'll take the pads out, remove those nutrients from the filtration, and replace it with new pads. So this is my much requested update on the 125-gallon reef. Everybody's doing all right. I do get some corals that aren't happy in the summer. They'll recluse in the summer. They'll come back in the fall. But it's like gardening. You know, everything has its periods and seasons. So I'll take a couple of pictures, I'll add them to the mix. And thank you for watching, man. I appreciate all you guys' questions. Check me out on Facebook, hit that thumbs up, and until next time, this is me signing out. See ya.